first of all, like, why do we need heroes and villains? And then
Mm.
I guess second part of that question is, do people always need to see themselves as the hero? And I'll give you a little context. I was talking to another therapist who was telling me, people always in their own stories, always make themselves out to be right, right? Like everyone else was at fault for this. They were the ones that hurt me. This was unfairly done. They come up with reasons why they're the hero of the story. So I'm really curious your take on that.
Absolutely. Without hearing the full conversation, I definitely understand where that person is coming from based on what I've heard. Oftentimes, people can get into, especially people who are in a place of insecurity, in a place of defensiveness, in a place where perhaps of abuse, that victim subpersonality can come up as a way of protecting. So that's
Mhm.
another part of kind of the family systems theory that I work within. There's this really wonderful system called internal family systems, which is looking at parts of self as ways of that have been generated within self to defend us and to protect us from outside harm. So how these develop? I think everybody, if really pressed, can identify times when they've been in a group or they've been in a situation where afterwards they come out of it and they're like, that wasn't me. I don't know why I was like a raging bitch in that, or I don't know why I was so funny in that. Like, I'm not a funny like extrovert. What was that, right?
Totally. Yeah.
Right? And what happens is we develop these parts or these subpersonalities to protect ourselves in certain situations. And they are parts of us. They're not multiple personalities. They're parts of us. They're just ways that we cope within certain. They're masks that we put on, often subconsciously in certain situations, to feel comfortable in those situations. Right. So I think that when it comes to characters, it's a very similar process. We resonate with certain characters in a way that is going to serve us, and oftentimes that need to be the hero of our story is really important. People often don't like to think that they can be the villains in somebody else's story, but oftentimes other people, because they need to have a villain in their story because of their personal narrative, will make you the villain. And this is where people get caught because oftentimes they feel that they have to take on the responsibility of being that villain when they don't, because that villain isn't who they are.